Hi everybody, what is up? Welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, welcome. My name is Victoria. I am a 23-year-old woman of transgender experience, and I make mostly LGBT content here on YouTube. If that's your thing, make sure you hit the subscribe button down below so that you never miss out on a new upload. So if you joined me for last week's video, we talked about the 5 things that trans girls do not want you to know. If you haven't watched that, what are you doing? I'll link that right up here and also down below so you can go watch that, pause this video, go watch it, come on back. But this week we will be talking about the 5 things that trans girls do want you to know, how you can be a better friend, a better ally to your trans loved ones. There are so many things that I could say on both sides of this, things that we want you to know and things that we don't want you to know. So if you want, I will make an entire part 2. If you think of anything that I don't list in this video, please comment it down below because I love to hear from you guys. And without further ado, let's get on into this week's video. Okay, you guys, so the first thing that trans girls want you to know is that if you are looking at us, if you're looking at your trans friend, and there's one thing that you notice that might out us or give us away as being trans women, whether it's the hair, the makeup, our nose, our voice, whatever it is, 9 times out of 10, keep it to yourself. Keep it to yourself, baby, because we already know all these things that are wrong with us. We're already thinking about the ways that we don't look good, the ways that we might be outing ourselves. We already are hyper fixated on that. So usually we already know. If it's your best friend and you're in private and you want to tell them like, hey, I think this one specific thing could be improved pretty easily. Like maybe draw your brows a little thinner, or, you know, draw your lip a little higher, little things like that. Maybe you can tell them, but usually if you can't fix it in like 30 seconds, don't bring it up at all. If someone can't fix something in 30 seconds or less, do not bring it up. Because what am I gonna do? Just be insecure for the rest of the day? Think about like, oh yeah, like if you were to say to me, like if you say to a trans friend, like, oh my God, you're so pretty, like I would never know you're trans. Well, I mean, maybe the nose kind of gives you away, or like, oh, maybe like, I think you could probably work on the voice, but other than that, like, it's fine. Guess what? For the rest of the day, the rest of the week, the rest of the month, who knows? We are going to be thinking about that one thing and how we're like, well, it might be pretty, but Allison thinks I need a new nose. Like, so if you're looking at your trans friend and you're noticing something that might out them, either bring it up in private or don't bring it up at all. All right, next up on our list, as a woman of transgender experience, there are going to be certain places and scenarios that we are a little less comfortable in. So whether it's the beach or going clothes shopping or public restrooms or even showing your ID somewhere, like going to a club or a bar. Some people haven't changed their name or gender marker yet. Sometimes maybe they have an old license photo and it's gonna be thrown away thinking it's a fake. Obviously, we wanna participate in these things with you just like any other friend, but because we're trans, sometimes some things hold us back. So maybe alert us to the plan ahead of time. I remember this one time I was like, 16 probably. Mom and Dad, click off if you're watching. But I went to the beach with my friend and she was this very like body positive hippie, like still is, and obviously gorgeous and also cis. Now we went to this beach with these 2 guys because she was performing at like an open mic, and we went to the beach nearby with these guys, and these guys were older than us and larger than us, and they did not know my tea. It was still pretty casual, like we were just sitting on the beach talking, and then she goes, oh my God, you guys, we should go skinny dipping. Skinny dipping. Skinny dipping. Me, my pre-op ass, I was pre-op top and bottom. I had no surgeries whatsoever, and these guys did not know my tea, so I was not about to go out either naked or in my like gaff. It was so uncomfortable. So please keep that in mind when you are with your trans friend. There are some scenarios that we aren't going to be comfortable with. So, you know, don't walk on eggshells for us, but maybe keep that in mind. All right, number 3 on our list of things trans girls want you to know. If you are calling us plastic, or say you look at someone like This is no shade, but if you look at someone like Nikita Dragon and you say, oh, like, you look so much better than her, like, she looks really fake, but like, whatever. That is not a compliment. That is my sister. And no matter how good or how rough, how natural or how fake my sisters look, they are still my sister. And we already have enough turmoil and hate in the community where a lot of trans girls can't even be friends with each other because we are constantly pinned against each other and in competition. I feel like more so than cis girls. We're always trying to look the most real, the most cis, the most beautiful. And, you know, dysphoria is a powerful thing, y'all. If you look at someone like Nikita Dragon or someone that has, like, you know, a really pumped out body, obviously none of us are sitting there like, you know what, I want to put my life in danger to go and change my body. Like, obviously that is not the case. It's dysphoria. You know, I know a lot of girls that have gotten a lot of procedures, and sometimes they feel like, sometimes even I wish that my dysphoria didn't push me to do some of the things that it did. But it's strong. Dysphoria is a strong son of a bitch, and it'll make you do some crazy things. So pointing to someone's body and saying they look fake, it's more sad to me because that makes me think two things. One, are they gonna say that about me in my body? Are they gonna be like to their other friend once they get my boobs bigger or, you know, my hips wider? Are they gonna point to me and be like, oh, well, she looks really fake, you don't want to look like her? Calling anybody plastic or fake is just coming from insecurity, honestly, because I've done it. I mean, most of us have done it, and it comes from a place of insecurity. If you see this bitch that I got her body done and you like it that much, go get your body done. If you don't like it, don't follow them. So what's the issue? Like, I actually, no shade, I've talked about this many times, but I had to unfollow Nikita Dragon because I was seeing her incredible body and face and everything every single day. And then I would look at myself and I wouldn't see that. I wouldn't see this bombshell Instagram model pumped out body, and it made me feel bad about myself. And that has nothing to do with her or her body. It has to do with me and my reactions to her posting. So yeah, before you call somebody fake or plastic, please try and think about what might have gone on in their life or their dysphoria that led them to look like that. And also remember that it is not a compliment when you compare us to other trans girls. Number 4 on my list. 9 times out of 10, we are so happy to answer any question that you might have. But, but, it does matter how you ask it. I come from a very small town, and there are so few openly trans people in the state, let alone the area. So I usually am so happy when I have the opportunity to sit down with somebody and educate them on the transgender experience. So, for example, my boyfriend comes from more conservative beginnings. He himself is very much liberal, as am I, but we come from a small town, and unsurprisingly, a lot of his family and family friends have never knowingly come in contact with another trans person. So when I'm open about being transgender, or if a family member of his tells one of their family friends that I'm trans, it's gonna open up the conversation for a lot of different questions. And I feel not only honored to represent the trans community in those scenarios, but I also feel responsible to. So, you know, if people have a question about my life or my experience, and if I were to just say, no, like, you can fucking Google it, like, mind your own business, I'm not gonna answer that, that I might be the last trans person that those people ever knowingly meet. You know, so I don't want to leave a bad taste in their mouth for transgender people. And I can also change the way people view us. So I've talked to many different people who thought growing up, they were just taught that trans women are men in dresses, whatever. And then they meet me and they get to know me and they understand, like, oh, well, you're a woman. And I can't imagine you any other way. So trans women generally love to communicate and educate people on what it means to be transgender. But it is also very, very important that you ask the right questions. Like I said, you don't have to walk on eggshells by any means, but For example, if you're asking about surgery, if you were to say something like, you know, oh, so they are able to rearrange all the nerves and stuff and it works well, like that's one question versus asking something like, and what do they do to it? Like what do they cut it off? Like what do they do to that? Those are two very different questions that we're really asking the same thing. Be kind, be polite. Don't ask us things like, what's your old name? Or, you know, what did you look like before? Those are very offensive questions. I could make an entire other video about what not to say to trans people. In fact, if you want that, like this video and give this video a comment letting me know that you want to see things that you should not say to a trans person, because I could make a whole video about it. Okay, everybody, and for the last one on my list of things that trans girls want you to know, we want you to know that we are just like any other woman and we want to be treated as such. All women have a different lived experience of womanhood, whether they are cisgender or transgender, black or white, gay or straight, no matter what it is, we all have different experiences, but they are all still experiences of womanhood. Does that make sense? So I am a woman and my experience of womanhood is that of a trans woman. Do not talk to us like we're gay men. Do not talk to us like we're science experiments. Don't come up to us. If you're in a room full of girls and you're talking to everyone normally and you happen to clock somebody as being trans, don't walk up and be like,
oh, hi mama, work the house down, work that glitter, sis.
Don't do that. Please, we hate that. Please don't do that, because guess what, honey? We are not men. We are not gay men, and we do not appreciate it. It makes us feel alienated. It makes us feel like you're seeing us as drag queens, and that's not who we are. Just because you saw a pose once does not mean you can come up to us and be in our community. And don't talk to us like we're a science experiment. Like, it's one thing to ask a genuine question, another thing to be like, so what exactly are the chemicals that happen in your body when you're on HRT? Or, so tell me exactly the proceedings of the surgery. Like, girl, you can Google that. We are not your guinea pig. We are not the Google of trans, we're not the Tranipedia, okay? We are not the Tranipedia. If you're our best friend, treat us like any of your other female best friends. If you are our lover, treat us like any of your other female lovers. If we are your child, treat us like your other daughters. I can't explain to people how weird it feels when people talk to you like a gay man or like a science experiment. Like, it's, say you were born female, you were raised female, all of that, and one day you wake up and you have a flat chest, a beard, and male genitalia. Imagine how that feels. And like, you know you're you. You know that you are a woman and your name is whatever and these things, but imagine that everyone else sees you as this big man. And then you try to make advancements and become, again, who you truly are. And people are still talking to you like you're that gay man. So be kind, be courteous, treat everybody with dignity and respect, just like you would any other person, and treat us like any other woman. All right, you guys, that's going to be all for this week's video. If you have not seen last week's video, the 5 things that trans girls do not want you to know, I will link it right up here as well as down below. Please make sure you go check that out. I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you give it a big thumbs up. It helps out my channel so much. And if you are not already a part of the family, please hit that subscribe button down below and click the bell so you're notified whenever I make a new video every single Wednesday, and a bonus one about once a month. I will link all my social media in the description box down below, as well as my Amazon merch, Redbubble, and Teespring, so you can check out all of the LGBT merch that I have made just for you. I will also link my WISIO down below if you want any requests from me, a 3-minute cameo from me. You can go to wisio.com/Victoria Rose. Again, that is wisio.com/Victoria Rose. You guys are all amazing. Thank you so much for sticking it out until the end of the video, and until I see you next Wednesday, good luck. I love you.